Howdy, 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 howdy. Hi. It is Thursday. It's Thanksgiving Day there, isn't it? Happy Thanksgiving, you folks in America. So today's message is one that it might make me cry. I think I'm a little bit cried out, but that's just a warning. Welcome back to Antonia's Blissful Corner. Your quiet space. Let me see if I can position this better. Your quiet space for. Let's start over. Let's start over. That was weird. That's just very weird. Welcome back to Antonia's Blissful Corner, your quiet space for reflection, growth, and peace. I'm Antonia, and before we dive in, please, if you have not, grab a copy of my book, Unlocking the Introvert, a pocket guide to understanding and interacting with introverts. The book is available at societyofintroverts.com, Amazon, and everywhere books are sold online. So, even though I've already Happy Thanksgiving, Veronica. um, even though we've already crossed the 50 days together, I feel like I have developed a habit. So, I have to figure out what my routine is going to be, but every day is content, and so I feel like sometimes I just want to just come on and share. So, not counting, right? I'm just here, just showing up, sharing what's on my heart tonight. And tonight, my heart is sitting in a place of gratitude. Hey, Andrew. It's Thanksgiving Day in the United States, but not here in the United Kingdom. Still, as I walked with my uncle this morning, I felt a different kind of gratitude. One that it has nothing to do with a holiday and everything to do with presence. During our walk, my uncle stopped a couple of times and cried. And I know most of the reasons why he cries, right? So I've grown accustomed to it, just allowing him to release, right? But today, when I watched his tears, it hurt me. Like, like ever since my auntie passed away, like he cries. Every time he sees me, he cries because seeing me is a reminder of her and his son, right? But there's just so much that has gone on. So it's a lot, right? Now, because the more I spend time with him, the more I am truly seeing him. I'm seeing past the veil, right? I'm seeing past the man that I grew up knowing, and I'm seeing the person underneath, right? I'm grateful that I'm mature enough now and healed in some respects to really see him, because when he cries, I don't see a 90-year-old man. I see a little boy who got stuck at the age where the hurt first entered his life and he never was able to pass it. Um, you look at him and you see this tiny little old fair skinned man who when I was younger, I felt like he was a giant, right? Because when you're a kid, everybody's taller. But not only was he taller than me then, um, he just seemed big, right, in size, but his voice was always deep. He was always gruffy, always came off mean. His face looks mean, all of that, right? There are times when we compare it to some characters I won't even say on here, but um what I see now is a little boy, right? And I think that with me on my journey and learning and understanding myself more, I'm able to see people differently. And I'm grateful that God chose me to be here at this time with Him and no one else, right? So there's no one else to basically interrupt conversations. There's no one here to tell him to, oh, stop crying, because there were times when people did that. It's just me and Him, right? And I found that for most of my time here, I tried to, tell him, Uncle, think about the happy times and all those things. And then today I realized that I wasn't doing that. I wasn't just allowing him to purge. because no one can know the hurt in someone's heart except themselves. Even if they tell you, you can't really you can't really um, feel how they're feeling at that time, right? Because the reality is, even though he's crying for because of them, he's also crying because he knows that my time is coming near. Like he knows that at some point I'm going to go home and he's going to be in this house, this big house, by himself, right? That little boy was standing there, and I saw somebody who felt abandoned, ignored, and unprotected his whole life, right? Ever so often, Uncle will call me his daughter, and today he did it twice. My auntie used to always call me her daughter. I didn't know what she considered her sister, but as far as she was concerned, I was her daughter, especially when we were visiting. So when I look at him, I'm not just looking at an elder who's emotional. I'm looking at someone who never received the softness he should have gotten as a child. And this whole thing made me reflect on tears in general. Because let me tell you, there was a stage of my life where I cried for everything. If I was included, I cried. If I was excluded, I cried. If I couldn't find the words, I cried. If I felt abandoned, cried. If I was rejected, cried. If someone raised their voice at me, cried. If I was tired, cried. If I wanted to do something but didn't have the strength, I cried. And at one point, I honestly believe I had cried so much, I was using up all my tears in advance. Like my tear ducts were like, girl, chill. We're running low. Please pace yourself. We got many years to go. And looking back, I can laugh because crying was my language before I learned how to express myself any other way. It was my way of purging emotions I had no vocabulary for. But even with all of that, I've never looked at a crying man as weak. Never, right? Little boys are taught not to cry. They're told to man up, keep it in, don't act soft, be tough, right? While little girls are allowed to express themselves, boys are taught that emotions make them fragile. Oh, you're so weak, right? So they bury everything, the fear, the disappointment, the grief, until their bodies grow into men, but their wounds stay the same age. So when my uncle cries, I don't see weakness at all. I see honesty. I see release. I see a little child who never received the comfort as a child, right? And that's how he grew. What I see is a little boy calling for help, but there was no one there. There still isn't anyone there who knows how to answer him. And sometimes I wish I could rescue that little boy, hold him, tell him he mattered, which I do, right? Tell him he was loved, tell him he didn't deserve the pain that shaped him. But the reality of it is, I think as children, when you don't have a mom or a dad, it's different, right? And so today I was messaging his nephew a little while ago, and all of these thoughts basically like just flowed out of my head, and that's when I decided that I was going to come and talk about it tonight, because I realized that there's so many people who are stuck, right? And I'm grateful also for his nephew because he and I were on similar journeys, but now as adults we realize, because so now we're able to basically speak to each other on a different level. There was a point in time when I didn't like him because I was intimidated by him because he just had this mean exterior. But honestly, that mean exterior that I saw is the same mean exterior that people saw when they saw me, right? So I feel like that's how and why we can relate. For my uncle, though, all I can do right now is show up for the man that he grew into and offer him the softness that he never received. When we got home and I started to prepare dinner, all of this weight basically felt like it was just on my shoulders. And it made me reflect on how healing works. I used to tell him, don't think about the negative, let it go, free your mind, be at peace. Don't let them people live rent free in your head. But really and truly, that was my process. That's how I healed. That's how I started becoming her, by releasing people, releasing situations, and choosing peace. But healing takes willingness. It takes desire. It takes commitment to self. And at 90, not everyone has that. Not everyone wants that. Not everyone is ready for that. Even if the world loves to say, oh, it's never too late. I disagree. I disagree fully because it's not only not too late. I mean, it's only not too late if the person is willing to do the work. Because the reality of it is, I only got here because I chose to invest in myself. I chose to take this step to come outside of my comfort zone. I chose to take this step to no longer hide all the time and choose to be seen sometimes. Right? So tonight I'm thankful. I'm thankful for clarity. I'm thankful for understanding. I'm thankful for the moments that I get to share with him. Moments I didn't even know I needed, and moments that others will never experience. Thankful that I can finally see him, not as the giant that I feared as a child, but as the human being he always was. And before I close, here's a powerful truth sitting in my spirit tonight. Sometimes the healing we try to give someone else becomes a mirror that shows us how far we have come. And boy, have I come a far way. Lord have mercy. But I'm grateful, right? It's Thanksgiving. And some people celebrate the holiday. I feel like Thanksgiving should be every day. Thanksgiving is every day. We should be grateful every single day for every single thing that we have, right? Sometimes the love we offer someone who wasn't loved enough becomes the love we wish someone had given us. And that is the quiet work of becoming. Thank you for being here with me today on America's fake Thanksgiving holiday. Just kidding. Thank you for listening. And thank you for holding this space. I'm grateful. And I do thank you for taking time out of your wonderful holiday. You could be having your pecan pie right now or your ice cream with, I don't know, pumpkin pie or sweet potato pie. But you're here with me and I'm grateful. Um, if something in this reflection touched you, please like this video, share it with someone who may need it, and remember to subscribe if you haven't already, because I would love for you to come with me on this journey. And don't forget to grab my book, Unlocking the Introvert, a pocket guide to understanding and interacting with introverts. It is available at societyofintroverts.com, Amazon, and everywhere books are sold online. Tomorrow is Black Friday. I have no sale because it's $7.99. My book is available at societyofintroverts.com. I think I said it already. See, I am getting old. My book is available at societyofintroverts.com, Amazon, and everywhere books are sold online. Um, my soul sister, Veronica, is here and she does it. Let me tell you. So she bought a copy of my book, and when she does her lives, she is the best at promoting my book. I think I'm just gonna have to record her doing it because she does it way back. I gotta practice. I gotta record how she does it and try to figure out how to do it like her. Anyway, thank you for everyone who is tuning in right now. Thank you for those who will watch this at a later date. And please remember that crying isn't weak. I actually think that it's a beautiful thing because God gave us tears for a reason. You feel me, homies? Anyway, thank you, Mama. I know she's there watching, but she's not in the chat. Thank you, Veronica. I love you very much. Thank you, Drew. See you soon. Please, everyone, stay blissful, and I will see you next time. Take care. And happy